Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Janaha Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Janaha.
Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuigrananti Ye Bhuridajana. Yesterday we started chapter 8, but there is a glaring blunder in the name of the chapter. The master's birthday celebrations at Dakshineshwar. Incidentally, it has happened on 18th February, which is his birthday. But actually, there is no mention of birthday either in English or in Bengali. Secondly, the first passage is not in Dakshineshwar also. So, seeing that date, this has been mentioned. Actually, it is a birthday, but it is not in Dakshineshwar. Anyway, so we start reading from the beginning. Sri Ramakrishna arrived at Govinda Mukherjee's house in Belgaria, near Calcutta. Besides Narendra, Ram and other devotees, some of Govinda's neighbors were present. The master first sang and danced with the devotees. After the kirtan, they sat down. Many saluted the master. Now and then he would say, "Bow before God." So this is important. You are going down to Sri Ramakrishna, and he is telling you, bow before God. Means, don't bow before Sri Ramakrishna taking him as a man. Have the consciousness that he is God. And then the bowing down will be more successful. And then he continues. It is God alone, he said, who has become all this. So he is now explaining the beauty of an incarnation, or people with a high degree of spirituality. It is God alone who has become all this, but in certain places, for instance, in a holy man, there is a greater manifestation than in others. You may say there are wicked men also. That means, is God in all? For that, this question is asked. That is true. Even as there are tigers and lions, so wicked people also are there. But one need not hug the tiger God. Tiger is also God, but you need not hug him. One should keep away from him and salute him from a distance. Salute him from a distance. Take water for instance. Some water may be drunk, some may be used for worship, some for bathing, and some only for washing dishes. So he has shown the difference. Now we come to today's topic. A neighbor. Revered sir, what are the doctrines of Vedanta? So they are asking about Vedanta. Master, The Vedantist says, I am He. Brahman is real and the world illusory. Even the I is illusory. Understood? He has cleared it. Vedanta says, I am Brahman. But that I is not this I at all. I is illusory. In Shankaracharya's Bhashya on a portion on the Chandogya Upanishad, he says that the I which is experiencing the world, if the world is illusory, then the I which is experiencing the world also is illusory. And if I is Brahman, then the whole world is Brahman. That he has clearly stated in a place. And this I, then all the struggle is for this apparent I. He says all this struggle is by the apparent I to realize that it is apparent or illusory. So, he tells what people understand by Vedanta and then corrects it. That is the general understanding of Vedanta. I have attended many Vedanta conferences, and by their gestures and talk, Brahma Satyam, what that Brahman is, nobody knows. And Jagat Mithya, like that they show. And Jivo Brahma Ivanapura. So that is the gross misunderstanding of Vedanta. But that is what people say. So Thakur has told Vedanta is like this. But though he has not used the word but, even the I is illusory. Only the Supreme Brahman exists. In this connection, if we remember in the Great Master, Thakur is teaching Turiyananda Swamiji. And he says, what is Vedanta? Brahman is real, all else is illusory. And it does not use that I am Brahman. And it does not feel needed that I am Brahman. And that is unnecessary and that is disturbing. So though the common understanding is like that, if everything else is illusory, then this I is illusory. And Brahman is everything. So this I is an appearance of Brahman. But the I cannot be got rid of. That he has been telling in the last conversation also. Therefore, it is good to have the feeling I am the servant of God, his son, his devotee. So last time we had two of these. I am his servant, I am his devotee. But this time he has added one thing, I am his son. So, some relation with God which shows the dependence on God. And that will end. When the I will end, then it will be Brahman only was my I. Was, is, will be. For the Kali Yuga, the path of bhakti is especially good. Kali Yuga has defined that this body consciousness does not go easily, so it is bhakti is especially good. In bhakti, we do not care for the body because we love God. And wherever that love takes us, we are going. One can realize God through bhakti too. This is, we see, constant theme of Thakur. And he has made it clear. As long as one is conscious of the body, one is also conscious of objects. Same thing as I told you. And it is very well described in the 12th chapter of the Gita. Form, taste, smell, sound, and touch, all the five. These are the objects. These are the objects. That means whatever we call objects is nothing but a combination of these. There is nothing other than these called object. We mix up and produce infinite variety. But if you analyze, object means Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. It is extremely difficult to get rid of the consciousness of objects. I am subject, so these are objects. And one cannot realize I am he as long as one is aware of objects. So as long as one is aware of objects, one is aware of himself as the subject. And this I cannot be Brahman. I am he, that means he is I. He is everything, he is my reality. So this I will vanish. This I has to vanish. And I self should be aware that it is illusory. The sannyasi is very little conscious of worldly objects. So some trace is there, but that will go by his sadhana. And if it is predominant, it cannot go like that. But the householder is always engrossed in them. That is householder. He has to deal with objects, wife, children, money, house. Therefore, it is good for him to feel I am the servant of God. So, keep your relation with God. Keep a dependent position and love God. That love will make you rise. Never. Now, hearing this, the never comes down. He asks for Vedanta. But when Thakur explained this, he has fallen from this position. And he says, Sir, we are sinners. What will happen to us? So this is the theme of Christians and of Brahma Samaj. And of anybody who thinks of himself as a sinner. And on this point, Thakur is very clear. If you always think you are a sinner, you will be sinner. If you think I am free, you will be free. So, I am a devotee of God is the main thing. Don't think you are sinner or virtue or you are not there. Unnecessary. Understood? Master, all the sin of the body fly away if one chants the name of God and sings His glory. So if you think of yourself, you will feel you are a sinner. But think of God, be devoted to God. And chant the name of God and sings His glories. The clapping is not mentioned here. Ajay? There is mist here.
This is the next line. Next line.
Oh, it is there. Okay. The birds of sin dwell in the tree of the body. Okay. Body consciousness is the root of sins. Singing the name of God is like clapping your hands. It is like clapping your hands. But sometimes he asks, clap your hands. Jano Chetana. As at a clap of the hands, the birds in the tree fly away, so do our sins disappear at the chanting of God's name and glory. See, so he has given a means. You are a sinner, then chant the name of God. It is like clapping, and the birds which are on the tree will run away. Tree, the body. That means the sins do not affect the soul, they affect the body. Again, you find that the water of a reservoir dug in the meadow is evaporated by the heat of the sun. Another example. In the meadow, there is a water pond, dug. And when the heat of the sun is there, it dries up. Likewise, the water of the reservoir of sin is dried up by the singing of the name and glories of God. So to convince, he gives example after example. You must practice it every day. That is the main thing. The other day at the circus, I saw a horse running at top speed with an English woman standing on one foot on its back. How much she must have practiced to acquire that skill? So, practice will give you that skill. Weep at least once to see God. So, intensity of yearning. This is his constant theme. At least once, that means that tendency would develop. These then are the two means, practice and passionate attachment to God. So practice should not become mechanical. Practice is the means. But along with that, passionate attachment to God. Passionate, that is to say, restlessness of the soul to see Him. So passionate attachment means seva, vakulita. Sri Ramakrishna began his midday meal with the devotees. It was about 1 o'clock. A devotee sang in the courtyard below. He is in other's house, first floor. So below courtyard. Jago jago janani muladhare nidragata kato dina gato holo kulakundalini sakarya sadhane chaloma shiromadde paramashiva jata sahasra dala padme kori shatchakra bhed mago guchao maner khed chaitanya rupini. This is the almost constant theme in this with Shaktas. In Tantra Sadhana, they always think of these Shat Chakras. And so, she is located at the bottommost Muladhara. And she has to go to the top Sahasrara, where Shiva is there. That is the constant thing. And for that, she has to first awake. Then she can go. In English, only first line is given. No. That is the first song. Awake, mother, awake, how long thou hast been asleep in the lotus of Muladhara. Fulfill thy secret function, mother. Rise to the 1,000-petal lotus within the head, where mighty Shiva has his dwelling. Swiftly piece the 6 lotuses and take away my grief, O essence of consciousness. So the sadhak's grief will go away when the Kundalini rises to the highest level. And she is the essence of consciousness. Hearing the song, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. His whole body became still and his hand remained touching the plate of food. Oh, he was taking food, and that time somebody is singing and he stopped food. He could eat no more. After a long time, his mind came down partially to the plane of the sense world, and he said, I want to go downstairs to listen to that song. A devotee led him down very carefully, still in an abstracted mood, so his food and everything remained like that. He sat near the singer. The song had ended. The master said to him very humbly, Sir, I want to hear the chanting of the mother's name again. So, only 2 lines are given. The musicians sang same song. The master again went into ecstasy. So, this much is the passage, and what happened to food and what happened coming back. So, this much is mentioned. We move on to next date, February 25, 1883, 1 week afterwards. 18th February, it was Sunday. So next Sunday, because Master Masha has time on Sundays, so we are getting more details about Sundays. After his noon meal, the master conversed with the devotees, not that previous meal. Ram, we know him. Kedar, we have seen him. Nitya Gopal also we have seen him, and others had arrived from Calcutta. Sunday. Rakhal, Harish, Latu, and Hazra were living with the master. We have seen all of them. Mr. Chaudhary, who had 3 or 4 university degrees and was a government officer, was also present. So this is a new character. He had recently lost his wife and had visited the master several times for peace of mind. So that is his history. He is a big government officer, but he has lost his wife, and to remove that suffering, he has come to Thakur again and again. In Bengali only Chaudhary আসি আছে পরে গিয়েও আছে 3-4টা পাস করেছেন So what we shall get in the index of persons? Chaudhary, find there. Love, correct? Then it is place. Michael. Chaudhary, Pahari Baba. Nanta. Naveen. Chandramani. Chandra Haldar. Chinashankari. Chunilal. Bas. Not mentioned here. Okay. Here is whatever you want to get. Master to Ram and the other devotees. Devotees like Rakhal, Narendra, and Bhavanath may be called Nitya Siddha. May be called, but later on we see that this Bhavanath did not stand that test. At that time he appeared because Narendra's friend, but later on he married and merged in Sansar. May be called Nitya Siddha. their spiritual consciousness.
In Bengali, this
Huh?
Bengali maybe is not there. In Bengali,
What?
in Bengali,
Huh?
maybe is not there. It's
Is.
um,
That's all. Because avatar has human body. So human errors also are there. Their spiritual consciousness has been awake since their very birth. They assume human bodies only to impart spiritual illumination to others. So this is true about Narendra and Rakal. There is another class of devotees known as Kripa Siddha. That is gained perfection due to grace. That is to say, those on whom the grace of God descends all of a sudden and who at once attain his vision and knowledge. Vision, personal God, and knowledge of impersonal God. Such people may be likened to a room that has been dark 1,000 years, which, when a lamp is brought into it, becomes light immediately, not little by little. So do not see the kramasha of sadhana, progress, suddenly. Those who lead a householder's life should practice spiritual discipline. They should pray eagerly to God in solitude to Mr. Chaudhary. God cannot be realized through scholarship because scholarship is built on tarka only. Who indeed can understand the things of the spirit through reason straight away? Reason works on the data supplied, and if our data is only five senses, we cannot understand the subtle things at all straight away. No, all should strive for devotion in the lotus feet of God. So what about Vedanta? What about Shankar Bhashya and all that? It makes us slowly grow in transcendence. That is the utility. Infinite are the glories of God. How little can you fathom them? Can you ever find out the meaning of God's ways? So this is to Chaudhary. Why you lost your wife? This will not solve your problem. Why God has done like that? God knows. This why is useless in spiritual life. And the human brain is such that it wants to stick to this why. Infinite are the glories of God. How little can you fathom them? Can you ever find out the meaning of God's ways? So he gives an example. Bhishma was none other than one of the 8 Vasus. We have seen this previously. Vasus are a type of God, and because they were cursed to be born as men, and Ganga was also cursed to become a woman. So the 8 Vasus thought that we should be born of Ganga, and it was accepted. And Ganga did not want that they should linger more than what is cursed. So when she was married to Shantanu, she said that what I will do with my children, you should never ask, otherwise I will go away. And as soon as the son was born, she would go and dip him, kill him in the waters of the Ganges, drown him. Because his curse will be over and he will go back. When the 8th Bhishmacharya was born, the king did not allow her to do so. And because of the previous promise, she left him. And so, that is Bhishmacharya. So, Bhishma was none other than one of the 8 Vasus. But even he shed tears on his bed of arrows. Bed of arrows, he had the boon. In exchange, his father had given him the moon that you will die only when you want. Now in the war, Arjuna hit him so many arrows that they pierced his body and he fell down on the bed of arrows. And he left his body only when the northern solstice began. So I had a peculiar concept in my childhood. 6 months he is lying. It is not like that. The other day, Saturday, we had Gita Jayanti. And 14 January will be Sankranti. So this some 20 days or maybe he was lying. He died on the 10th day after Gita Jayanti. No, he fell on the bed of arrows 10 days after Gita Jayanti. And from there, 14 January, maybe 10 days or 4 days, that's like. He shed tears on his bed of arrows. He said, how astonishing! God himself is the companion of Pandava brothers, and still there is no end to their troubles and sorrows. Who can ever understand the ways of God? So for that, Bhishma, who was the Vasu, that means almost all-knower, he also could not understand. So how can we understand? A man thinks, I have practiced a little prayer and austerity, so I have gained a victory over others. But victory and defeat lie with God. I have seen a prostitute dying in the Ganges and retaining consciousness to the end. So this is another example, we don't know what has happened. Prostitute is apparently the worst sinner. But she dies in the Ganges means she is mukta. Ganges is Patita Pavani. Ganges will remove all these sins, especially if you die there. And her consciousness also intact. So she knows that she is dying in Ganges. Mr. Chaudhary, how can one see God? Master, not with these eyes, clear. We have seen this before also. In between it had come now, and there it was clarified. Thakur said that I have seen him, I talked with him, and then he said that in those days I was seeing him. Now I see him in Samadhi. So for some period of time, his body was almost not there. He had that love body, and so in the love body, he is seeing by the eyes. So now again here it has come. Not with these eyes. God gives one divine eyes, and only then one can behold him. In the 11th chapter of the Gita, Arjuna says, can I see your universal form? God says, yes. Then he said, not by these eyes. I will give you the divine eyes. It has come immediately. God gave Arjuna divine eyes so that he might see his universal form. Your philosophy is mere speculation. And they use this word for philosophy. And Swami Vivekananda, whenever he has given lectures on Vedanta and all that, he has used this word speculation. Speculation is philosophical imagination with the help of apparent reasoning. That is speculation. It only reasons. Philosophy only reasons. God cannot be realized that way. So reasoning is insufficient. God cannot remain unmoved if you have Raga Bhakti. Raga Bhakti means devotion with love. actual love. That is, love of God with passionate attachment to Him. Do you know how fond God is of His devotees' love? It is like the cow's fondness for her fodder mixed with oil cake. Second time the example is coming. Fodder is given to cow every day. And now and then oil cake. Oil cake means this
Mustard.
cotton seed mainly.
No, mustard. Mustard. After the oil is taken out of the mustard seeds, that remaining, that is.
No, I know of cotton seed.
That may be also there, but mustard.
Anyway, so oil cake means some paste or seed which will generate oil. That is oil cake. The cow gobbles it down greedily. Mustard will not be pungent. Anyway. Raga Bhakti is pure love of God, a love that seeks God alone and not any worldly end. That is the main. Because we do not love God, we love something of the world and we make God the means of getting that. Prahlada had it. Prahlada's example is that he was born with wisdom and devotion. Suppose you go to a wealthy man every day, but you seek no favor of him. You simply love to see him. Incidentally, he is a rich man, but you are not interested in his richness. You like to see him, you love him. If he wants to show you favor, you say, no sir, I don't need anything. I came just to see you. Such is love for God, love of God for its own sake. A beautiful example is given. You simply love God and don't want anything from Him in return. There is an example in Swamiji's Karma Yoga, perhaps Swamiji's Bhakti Yoga, somewhere. The Pandavas were living in what is called Tarai, foothills of Himalayas. And Draupadi is asking Yudhishthir, you are always taking the name of God, what God has given you. To that Yudhishthir replies, I am not a shopkeeper in the region of religion. If I love God, He should give me something. See the Himalayas, what they do give me? But they are glorious, bhavya divya. So I love it. So God is the most glorious, so I love Him. That is the reply. And here Thakur has gone forward, that even if he wants to give something, he said, don't. Saying this, the master sang, हमें मुक्ति दीते कातर नहीं, शुद्धा भक्ति दीते कातर होई, अमर भक्ति जेवा पाए, तारे केवा पाए, ओहो, अमर भक्ति जेवा पाए, तारे केवा पाए, से जे सेवा पाए, होए त्रिलोक जयी, शुन चंद्रावली भक्तिर कथा कोई, मुक्ति दिल मिले कबू भक्ति मिले नहीं, भक्ति मिले कोई, भक्तिर कारणे पाताल भवने, बलिर द्वारे हमें द्वारे होए रोई, शुद्धा भक्ति एक आचे वृंदावने, गोप गोपी बिने अन्य नहीं जाने, भक्तिर कारणे नंदेर भवने, पिता ज्ञाने नंदेर बाधा माथा हुई. बाधा बाधा याचे In English, the full song is not given. In English, the full song is not given. and they have left it. Because somewhere else it might have come. Making the second edition, they have introduced. Boja can be proper. Nande's Boja. Nande's shoes he carried over his head.
Oh, shoes.
Saying this, the master sang, though I am never loath to grant salvation, I hesitate indeed to grant pure love. Because God is caught in that pure love. For that Thakur is singing this. Whoever wins pure love surpasses all. He is adored by men. He triumphs over the three worlds. Let me translate the remaining part. Now this is Krishna telling Chandravali. Chandravali is a gopi who has selfishness and lust. And Krishna goes there also. And to her he is telling this. Because Radha does not want anything. So why do you go to Radha? Why you do not come to me? There Krishna has told this. Shunna Chandravali Bhaktir Katha Koi. And let me tell you about devotion. Liberation can be God, but how to get bhakti? Now he gives example. Bali was a great king belonging to the demonic race, Asura. And he was a great devotee. And the gods were afraid. So gods asked Vishnu or the God Supreme to do something. Now Bali was known to give in charity whatever anybody asked. So this Vishnu took the form of a dwarf and went to him at the time of every day used to give donation. And asked that I want something. What you want? I want land equivalent to 3 steps of mine. Shukracharya understood. So he told him, don't give. But Bali also understood. But Bali thought it's a great opportunity. God himself has come as beggar to me. So the story goes that they take water out of the kamandalu for giving something. Now, in that nali, in that pipe of the kamandalu, Shukracharya sat as some insect or anything. And Bali just put a darbo, a hard grass, and passed it through Shukra's eyes. And took water and gave him. Now when he gave, first step he occupied the whole Prithvi. Second step he occupied the whole heaven. Third step, where shall I put? Then Bali said, you can put on my head. So when he put on Bali's head, he pushed Bali to the Patala Lok. And now Bali had a counter promise. I have given you what you wanted. He himself said, get a boon from me. So Bali said that you should become my gatekeeper, so that you could always see him. That is what is mentioned here. You know this Bali and where this happened?
No.
The land of Kerala.
Oh.
And Bali loved his subject so much that every year he comes to visit his Pathalok, Kerala. And that is their annual religious function called Onam.
Oh.
For 10 days. They prepare everything to welcome Bali, then Bali comes and they feed him and like that.
Oh.
So that is Bali's story. So, Bali, Patal Bhavane, Bali द्वारे हमें द्वारे हुए वही. So I become the gatekeeper because pure devotion. And then Shuddha Bhakti ek ache Vrindavan. Pure love is available in Vrindavan. He is telling that Chandravali herself. Now here one important thing is that, important. Gopa Gopi Vinay Anya Nahi Jane. You understand what is important? The gopis' love for Krishna or Krishna's love for the gopis has become magnified. And because the human and man element is there, people criticize it, people praise it. But Krishna was loved equally by the Gopalas, men. That is important here. Gopa Gopi Vinay, nobody knows. Now, Nanda was the foster father of Krishna. And he loved Krishna like anything. So because of that, Nanda is like a father. So he is going somewhere and his footwear, Krishna is taking on his head. Because of love. Okay? That is the full song. He continued, the gist of the whole thing is that one must develop passionate yearning for God and practice discrimination and renunciation. So the jnana element is added into this bhakti. So Thakur is talking about bhakti, 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 but not just blind emotion. It has viveka and vairagya. The two main elements of jnana. Mr. Chaudhary, sir, is it possible to have the vision of God without the help of a guru? Another point. He is asking this because where he will get a guru? Master, Satchidananda himself is the guru. So God himself becomes the guru. At the end of the Shava sadhana, just when the vision of the Ishta is about to take place, the guru appears before the aspirant and says to him, behold, there is your Ishta. Saying this, the guru merges in the Ishta. So, Shava sadhana is a tantric sadhana where you sit on a corpse and do your sadhana. And that is sure to lead you to God realization. So the Guru has taught him all this. So when he is about to merge in God, Guru appears and says, this is your God. And Guru himself merges in that God. So God himself comes as the Guru and merges. Ishta means the God's chosen form. Merges in the Ishta. He shows there is your Ishta. He who is the Guru is also the Ishta. So, God himself is the Guru. So, what is Guru? Is Ishta. Ishta is Guru. The Guru is the thread that leads to God. Women perform a ritualistic worship known as the Ananta Vrata. The object of worship being the infinite, but actually the deity worship is Vishnu. In him are the infinite forms of God. Vishnu means God which protects. Vishnu means God the all-pervading. So they worship God the infinite, but in the form he is the Vishnu. And within Vishnu you get all the gods, because he is the all-pervading. to Ram and the other devotees. So, talking to Chaudhary is over. If you ask me which form of God you should meditate upon, I should say, fix your attention on that form which appeals to you the most. So there is no difference in that. But know for certain that all forms are the forms of one God alone. So don't quarrel, my God and your God. In the Haryana Raj Bhavan, on a Gandhi Jayanti day, they had a symposium, and how each religion contributes to the harmony of religion. That was the common topic. Now, a professor of history, a Sikh gentleman, veteran Sikh gentleman, he said, in the Hindus, there is so much quarrel about Rama or Krishna or this or this or that, because of which Guru Nanak preached God without form. And after him was my turn. So I said that the professor of history has forgotten history. Hindus honor their own God more than the other. It is like small children quarreling. My father is more rich than your father. We have not heard these Sakar Bhaktas killing each other. Nirakar people have killed. Sikh terrorism, Islam terrorism, Christians crusade. Swamiji said King Wilfred liked to eat the flesh of the Mohammedans. So cruelty all goes with formless people, not with form. And if Hindus quarrel over forms, Thakur has come to solve it. That all forms are same God. That is what is here. And he has shifted to Ram because Ram was a little narrow-minded person. And other devotees, if you ask me which form of God you should meditate upon, I should say, fix your attention on that form which appeals to you most, but know for certain that all forms are the forms of one God alone. Never harbor malice towards anyone. This small-mindedness. Shiva, Kali and Hari are but different forms of that one. He is blessed indeed who has known all as one. So here again there is a song. No, one line only, huh? Okay. Outwardly he appears as Shiva's devotee, but in his heart he worships Kali, the blissful mother, and with his tongue he chants aloud Lord Hari's name. So he has shown a combination. No malice. The body does not endure without a trace of lust, anger, and the like. You should try to reduce them to a minimum. Body consciousness is there, then all these things are there. But you can reduce them to the minimum. Looking at Kedar, the master said, he is very nice. He accepts both the absolute and the relative. He believes in Brahman, but he also accepts the gods and divine incarnations in human form. In Kedar's opinion, Sri Ramakrishna was such an incarnation. Master Maharaj added this line. Looking at Nitya Gopal, the master said to the devotees, he is in a lofty mood. But he has a warning for Nitya Gopal. To Nitya Gopal, don't go there too often. There were a lady devotee used to treat Nitya Gopal as her child and always invite him and feed him. So that Thakur is telling. Don't go there too often. You may go once in a while. She may be a devotee, but she is a woman too. Therefore, I warn you. The sannyasi must observe very strict discipline. He must not look even at the picture of a woman. Now, this he tells many times too in the presence of Master Masha. Master Masha has a hidden desire of becoming a sannyasi. And Thakur terrifies him. That is the solution. Because Thakur's disciples, we in the Ramakrishna Mission, we do not follow this. So Thakur tells these things, mind you, to terrify Master Masha. The sannyasi must observe very strict discipline. He must not look even at the picture of a woman. But this rule doesn't apply to householders. An aspirant should not associate with a woman even though he is very much devoted to God. Here the aspirant is sannyasi again, huh? Sadhak. A sannyasi, even though he may have subdued his passions, should follow these disciplines to set an example to householders. So suppose sannyasi has one over this. But if he mixes with devotee girls, then the householders will fall a prey to that. Worldly people learn renunciation by seeing the complete renunciation of a monk. Otherwise, they think more and more. A sannyasi is a world teacher. So both by his teachings and his actions. Okay? So I come to the end of that day also. We'll take up next tomorrow. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadhatatam Bhuigrananti Ye Bhuridājana Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.